Good morning and welcome back to Lincolnstown Middle School for the 2021 school year. Can't believe summer is over already. This has probably been one of the most historic summers in the history of the world. It's definitely been a unique challenge for all of us. And kids, I know you're nervous and wondering what the school year is going to look like, but we're going to try to make the school year as normal as possible, you know, depending, based on the circumstances that we've been presented with. So the school year is going to look a little different. And, we're going to talk a little bit about that, as regards to your safety and so forth. But, welcome back. And, thank you for coming, be it you're a hybrid student who's in group A, hybrid student that's in group B, or a core student. Welcome. We welcome all of you. And, we're just going to go through and identify what our expectations are and what you should expect for this coming school year. So let's get started. So first of all, what is Lincolnstown all about? What is our purpose? We all should have a purpose in life. And so our purpose is our vision and our mission. And we want you to embrace in this philosophy so that it will help you grow and develop as you move on to the future. So we want you to, one, and if you saw the orientations, we want you to invest in your future. And investing in your future is important because everything that you're doing now is preparing you for your future. So everything that you do academically, all the knowledge that you absorb is preparing you for the future. And that could be going into high school, that could be choosing a career, either to go to college, the military, going and starting your own business, you name it. Everything you start learning now is preparing you for that future. So that's your goal. And the goal that you set for yourself, you have to prepare and plan for it. So prepare and plan now, invest in your future. Provide all students with a challenging learning experiences in a safe and welcoming environment, which will help students achieve their full academic and social potential and prepare them for success in high school. That's our mission. We want to challenge you, and we're actually getting more challenges than we expected because we want to challenge you in the classroom, academically, but now we're being challenged by the world and what's going on around us. And so the challenge will also be to keep ourselves safe and be positive during this difficult time period. So do the best that you can, come with a positive attitude, into school and be prepared to learn. Okay, that's all we expect you to do. Come in, follow the rules, and be prepared to learn. All right, and everything should work out. Now, here at Lincolnstown, we talk about Rams pride. You're going to see it posted on the walls. You're going to hear me talk about it. You're going to hear Mr. Norbury, our assistant principal, talk about it. And you're going to hear it all the time. So what does it mean? It's not just a word that we say. It has meaning, it has value, it has purpose. And so the word Rams means respectful, okay? R is for respectful. Being respectful of your peers, being, accepting of others. It means being accountable. It means taking ownership for your actions. When you do something that you shouldn't have, just take ownership for you. Mr. Porter, I did it. I made a mistake. I was wrong. We'll be more willing to work with you and help you when you take ownership for your actions and in making good decisions. And I know that's tough in this day and age to always do the right thing, but we want you to make good decisions. And if you don't make a good decision, just take responsibility for it, be accountable, and then we'll try again. All right. And then we want you to be safe. We want every student to feel safe in our building. And that means, either physically, mentally, be safe. That means treat others the way you want them to treat you. Don't be mean to people. Be nice. All right. Don't go on social media talking about people negatively. Say something positive if you're going to go online and do that. But be safe. All right. Our core values, what does that mean? Now, you're not going to see that posted around as much anymore because we want you to focus on Rams and, the behaviors that, we expect there. But pride is what the value system is here and what we want you to embrace because it reflects you. Pride represents personal responsibility, integrity, diplomacy, and excellence. And what that means is, once again, be responsible. Be responsible. Do what you have to do. Take ownership for your answer, your actions. Have a great work ethic. Be responsible for getting your homework done. Be responsible for doing your chores at home. Just be responsible. Show some integrity. Okay, that goes back to making good decisions. Be truthful. Don't worry about, if you make a mistake or you did something wrong. Be truthful, be honest, be open, and accept, what comes with that. All right. Be diplomatic. You may not agree, especially in this day and age, with something that your friends or your parents or your teachers are saying or believe in, but be diplomatic, be accepting, be understanding, and be appropriate when you're responding. And then finally, excellence. Strive for excellence. Strive to be the best student that you can be in this day and age, because that's what's going to set you apart when you're going out there to find a job, applying for colleges. They're looking for people that stand out. So why can't it be you? Why can't you be the one that stands out? Strive to be the best you can be. Be excellent. Now, these are some important people you need to know. I'm Mr. Porter, the principal. Hi. We have Mr. Norbury, our assistant principal. We have Mrs. Siggett, our school counselors for last names A through K. We have Mrs. Geisler, our counselor for last names L through Z. And even though they have assignments based on last names, they will help any student that needs help if the other person is not available. So always feel free to communicate with them. And also Mr. Norbury and ourselves are available, to help students if you need it. We're not just here to punish people, we're here to be helpful. We also have a new staff member, Mrs. Huddle. She's our school nurse. She can help you with medical needs. The guidance counselors have a resource page. Please, check that out. And it has fun and healthy breaks for kids. You can click on that link. It has activities. It has, readings and sayings that you can do to help you relax and be comfortable. We have resources on for COVID-19 for students and families. So there's a lot of information out there on our web pages that could be very helpful. We also have a student assistance team, students. So if you have a friend or yourself, if you feel that you're struggling with mental health, or unfortunately, if there's issues with drugs and alcohol with you or your friends, we can provide you with help and get you to the people that you need to, get you the help that you need. So the student assistance team is a referral service. So if you come to us and say, hey, I think I need help, we'll make sure you're connected to the individuals that can get you the help you need. Now, student expectations when being here at Lincolnstown Middle School. First of all, the PA Department of Health is requiring all students to wear face coverings at all times while in school, even if you can maintain 6 feet of social distancing. It's the expectation. And I know some of you might be tempted to play games and joke around and be silly and pull your mask off and act like you're coughing on someone. We can't accept that. We have to be safe. This is serious. Do not, take your mask off and pretend to cough on people, or tell people, hey, I have COVID, or, we don't want to do that. Everyone, parents, students, and staff are taking this very seriously. So make sure you're wearing your mask. Now, we will have times when you can take the mask down. That will be at lunch. When you're eating, you can take your mask covering off. And your teachers will also provide you with face covering breaks throughout the day that they'll organize. They can't be more than 10 minutes, but please take face coverings seriously. You can have a cloth mask. You can have the surgical, blue masks, or, mask coverings or what have you. And you can have a face shield, but you must have a mask with that as well. This is very important. Students and staff safety is very important to us. So please wear your face coverings, and please, practice social distancing as much as possible. And I, like anyone else, love to give high fives and fist bumps and all those type of good things. But now we're going to have to restrain from hugging your friends and doing all these things that you would normally do, because this is a serious time, and, and people could get sick. And we just want to make sure everyone stays safe. So work on your air high fives and your air bumps and head nods to say, hey, how you doing? All right, moving on. Student expectations with washing hands. When you come into the building, I know you're on the buses and you're, touching things. When you come into the building, please, wash your hands. We do have a hand sanitizer station when you come into the building, and it's to the right. And we also have hand sanitizer stations in the cafeteria, but we prefer that you wash your hands and, to make sure you can wash away your germs. We don't want any more than 4 students in the bathroom at a time. So make sure that, especially during the school day, when you'll get your planners, make sure you're putting your planner in the various slots that are outside the bathroom so students can see how many people are in there. So you will be allowed to carry your backpacks this year or your drawstring book bags because once again, we want, you are going to be assigned a locker, but we would rather you use your book bag to carry your belongings around to keep everyone from congregating together, and that will keep everyone safer. We do want you to keep your electronic devices off and away to make sure that you are focused on your academics. The only time you should be using your cell phone device would be in class with teacher permission for academic purposes, or in the lunchroom during during lunchtime. You are allowed to use your personal devices. We also are allowing you to bring water bottles because we don't really want you using the water fountains, and so you will be permitted to carry a water bottle with water that you'll be able to bring to class and so forth. Students are encouraged not to share supplies. Attempt to maintain social distancing in the classrooms, cafeteria, gym, PE locker rooms, and hallways. When you come into the building in the morning, we expect you to keep that social distancing going on as best as you can, because our school is going to be, even though we're hybrid and we have half the students there, there's still going to be a number of students that are here. Now, if you're coming in the morning for breakfast, when you walk into the front doors, teachers are going to ask you, I'll probably be outside as well. Hey, are you eating breakfast or not? So if it's after 7:20, if you say, yeah, I'm eating breakfast, we're going to send you to the cafeteria. We'll have marked locations where you can sit for breakfast. If you are not eating breakfast, the expectation is that you're going to report directly to your homeroom. All right, no hanging out in the hallways or hanging out in the halls. We want you to report directly to homeroom. Now, for the few of you that may get dropped off early by the bus, and if you're not eating breakfast, then you would report to the auditorium if it's before 7:20. So if you get dropped off by the bus between 7:10 and 7:20 and you're not eating breakfast, then you're going to report to the auditorium. So you just come in. You have 2 ways you can go: cafeteria for breakfast, or the auditorium, if you're not eating breakfast, if it's before 7:20. After 7:20, it's cafeteria for breakfast or to your homerooms. And once again, we don't want you congregating at the lockers and hanging out there, because once again, we want to maintain social distancing as best as we can. At the end of the school day, you should be reporting and getting on your buses. No hanging out on the porch, talking, and hey, what you got going on this weekend and all that type of good stuff. Let's get on the buses. That's what your cell phones are for. Send them a text. Hey, I'm doing this weekend. Okay. Please do not share food or drinks or utensils with anyone during the school day. Okay. Once again, we're trying to be safe, and we want to limit the spread of germs and so forth throughout the school. So please do not share food, drinks, or even pencils, paper, all those type of things that you would normally do to be a good person. We're going to ask you to refrain from that. Also, keep to the sides of the hallway. So, when you're walking, try to stay to the right, so that people are passing with a little distance in between. Try to keep the middle of the hallway clear. And if you're feeling sick, please don't come to school. Yeah, so, check. There's a symptom check, every morning, ask your parents to take your temperature. And, if you're feeling ill, you're coughing, have drainage from your nose, stay home, stay home. Okay. Now, school safety is very important to us. And, one of the things that, we want you to be aware of is that we do have the Safe to Say program. And if you know of someone that wants to harm themselves or harm others, it's very important that you contact Safe to Say. You can always make sure you contact, especially if it's during school time, make sure you see Mr. Norbury or myself, or your school counselor. But if you're not at school and you know someone wants to harm themselves or others, please contact Safe to Say. And the website is up there. This is a video, so you can go back and check the PowerPoint or whatever, when this is complete. We do practice run, hide, fight. So that means, if there's a situation that requires, that there's an emergency in the school, you can run, or you can hide, or you can fight. You do what you have to do. But we first want you to follow the directions of your teachers. We will be still conducting drills, fire drills, and lockdown drills or intruder drills throughout the school year. That's an expectation that we have to do for student and staff safety. So when we conduct these drills, it's important that you still wear your mask during those drills. All right, so those will still come along like normal, and there'll be less people in school, so there'll be less mingling and so forth. And we're going to be organized and when we go out and do our drills. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Norbury shortly, but I just want to leave you with 5 keys to success that I think are very important for all peoples and you students to have to be successful this school year. 1, just have a positive attitude. And I know it's going to be hard with everything that's been going on, and you've been isolated or in your homes, quarantined, and you may not have had as much fun as you wanted to this summer. You're coming into school and you're expecting to have all these fun things to do and be with your friends, and now half of your friends may be gone one day, and you may not see them as much as you want, or you may be a course student and you'll be at home and not able to see your friends the way you want to. And I understand that's going to be difficult, but still try to maintain a positive attitude through all of this. Come to school or wake up with a positive attitude and say, hey, I'm going to learn something today that's going to help me invest in my future. Okay, do the right thing. And I know you're kids, and sometimes you don't want to do the right thing, but be willing to accept the consequences that come with that. We want you to do the right thing at all times, even when no one is watching. You should do the right thing, because guess what? Someone's always watching. All right, do more than what you are asked to do. Someone's always going to ask you to do something. Go above and beyond. That's how you set yourself apart from everybody else. That's what gets people to recognize, hey, I want to invest in that kid's future. Respect yourself and others. Once again, we have a lot of difference. There's been a lot going on in our country today, and we want you to be accepting of others. You may not agree or like, what a person has to say, but just be accepting. There's no need to get into arguments or verbal confrontations. Just respect. Okay, I respect that you believe that. I may not necessarily believe that myself. Let's agree to disagree and just keep it moving. Okay, just respect everyone and prepare and plan. The way to be successful this school year, because there's going to be a lot of change. There's going to be a lot of mistakes. There's going to be a lot that we learn as we go that will limit you or hinder you, and don't let it get you down. So prepare and plan as best as you can, and but understand, you're going to make mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes, and it's not going to be perfect, but we just have to understand we're all in this together, and we can get through it together as a school, as a Lingostown family. Just show your Rams pride, invest in your future, have a great attitude, and you should have a good year. And this experience that we're having this year is going to help you develop strong character. And if you can handle these challenges, you can handle any challenge. And your future is bright. And you said, hey, I made it through this. I can make it through anything. And I know you can. And we look forward to having you this school year. And have a great time. And we'll see you. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Norbury. He's going to go over into some of the discipline, student code of conduct, and the expectations that we have for you. He's also going to talk about PBIS, which is going to be ways to create a positive atmosphere here at Lincolnstown Middle School. So it's good talking to you all, and hope to see you soon. Take care.
Morning, Lincolnstown Middle School. I'm Mr. Norberry, the assistant principal. Today we're going to talk about a few things, few expectations to help this school year start off smooth. First, you're going to need to log in. You're going to be using the computer a lot this year, whether you're a hybrid or a core student. So you need to know your username. It's the same as years past. The year you graduate, your first 5 letters of your last name, first initial, middle initial. Your password, if you're in 6th grade, it is probably school. If you're in 7th or 8th, it's going to be the most recently used password. If it was reset for any reason, then your password is going to be capital first initial, capital last initial, period, and then your lunch number. If you need to reset your password because you can't remember your password or it's just not working, go to cvschools.org, go to the Parents and Student Portal, go to Student Portal, and then click Password Reset. If you continue to have issues, contact IT Service Desk, and there's a link there under the Parents and Students link, same place over here, top right corner of cvschools.org. When you reset your password, make sure you have 3 of the 4 of the following: a capital letter, a lowercase letter, a number, and a special character. In the student portal, you can also get access to Hacks, so you can check your schedule and grades, and you have access to Canvas, which you will need for all your classes, for links for your activities and assignments, screencasts and live streamings for your teachers. Okay, your day 1 schedule is going to be a little bit different than your everyday schedule. So your hybrid B students, everybody at this point, you should have logged in to your homeroom or first period class and clicked on the link for Canvas to check in with your homeroom. Alright, core students, at this point you should have done the same as well. Right now you are listening to the principal's message, and that'll go from 8 till 9. And then from 9 to 9:45 will be extended homeroom. You will need to complete the remote learning expectations video and Google form that is included in this email. Core students, check to see if your first period teacher has a link for you to zoom in to work on the same thing. If they don't, then you will also work on the remote learning expectations video and Google form link. From there, you guys will follow your regular schedule, hybrid, Group B, and core students. Follow your regular schedule. So that means check into your Canvas course during the time each period meets. So from 9:45 to 10:13, you should go check in your Canvas page to see what assignments or activities, or possibly a live stream, that your teachers would have available for you. If there's any assignments or any activities, complete them during this time. If there's a live stream, join it. You will go through your schedule, and this is an example of the 6th grade schedule. For 7th and 8th grade, you can get your schedule on the 7th and 8th grade orientation page on the Lincolnstown Middle School site. It's also on the main page of our Lincoln School website. Okay, for hybrid students, let's talk about, and core students, let's talk about what school's going to look like on Wednesday when you're here. And core students, when you get back to school, these are the expectations. Let's start with the cafeteria. During lunch, teams will rotate between classrooms and the cafeteria to cut down the number of students in the lunchroom. Students are encouraged to pack their own lunches, and face coverings will be worn when maintaining a social distance of 6 feet. That's not possible. Now, luckily, we've been able, in the cafeteria, to set up a system where we have enough space where you can take off the mask, obviously, when you're eating. Some students will go to classrooms to eat. Your AE periods will look a little bit different this year. Here's an example of a 6th grade AE rotation. So instead of going to the same teacher every single day, we're going to rotate you to different main subject teachers. So for example, if you're a 6th grader and you have math first period, okay, on cycle day 1, you'll go to that math class. On cycle day 2, if you have science, you'll go to that science class. On cycle day 3, if you have social studies period 3, you would go to that class. So that way you get an opportunity to see all of your teachers throughout a cycle. On day 6 for 6th graders, you'll have a Ram Pride period. For 7th and 8th graders, yours is a different day, but this is where we'll do some different PBS activities and SEL activities, or other school-wide activities. Okay, attendance is mandatory, even if you are at home as a core student or a hybrid student. If you are absent, then you need to bring notes in to the window by the office when you are here. If you need an educational trip form, they can be obtained in the office as well, or you can find them in this website. Notes for excusals from phys ed need to go to the nurse's office. Early dismissal notes should be submitted to the window as well at the main office as soon as you get to school. And if you prefer to email notes, you may do that. You can email them to lmsattendance@cdschools.org. However, the notes must be signed by a parent or guardian. And you can scan it and email it in, or you can take a picture of it with your phone and email it that way. Those are acceptable as long as we see the signature. Okay, when arriving to school, many of you will take the bus. Make sure you guys are using social distancing where possible, and you're wearing your masks on the bus, unlike these students. Bus changes must be made in advance in the form of a note. Any bus change should be used for emergencies only. Drop-off and dismissal. When you arrive to school, if you are eating breakfast, report to the cafeteria. If you arrive prior to 7:20, you will report to the auditorium. If you arrive after 7:20, you'll go directly to homeroom. For dismissal, this year we're going to have a staggered dismissal time. So 7th graders, you guys will actually be dismissed first at 2:26 to get ready to pack up your bags and go home. At 2:28, the 6th graders will be dismissed, and then at 2:30, the 8th graders will be dismissed. That'll help us with social distancing as we go to the bus and go to the car rider lot. The car riders, you guys report to the flagpole that's out in front of the school to get picked up. Bus riders, you will report directly to your bus. We're not going to congregate, in front of the school. We still have to maintain social distancing the best we can. Walkers need to have a note from a parent giving permission to walk home. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about PBIS. PBIS is a proactive approach that is used to improve school safety and promote positive behavior. Our focus to start the school year is school-wide expectations. You can visit our website, www.cdschools.org/LMSPBIS for more information. Let's take a look at these expectation matrix. The first one is the brick and mortar expectations. Okay, we're gonna use our RAMS acronym: respectful, accountable, making good decisions, and safe. And we're going to teach you how to apply those to the different areas of the school. We've also created a matrix for dealing with COVID-19 and keeping you guys safe. We will discuss that in videos and classes. Finally, we have the PBS expectations matrix and remote learning matrix. So we want to be respectful, accountable, we want to make good decisions, we want to be safe online as well. So for you who are watching this at home, after you watch this video, in your email you should have links to another video discussing this matrix in detail, and there's also a Google form that you need to complete to show that you did watch it, and you understand the expectations. As the assistant principal, I handle most of the discipline issues. Weapons, drugs, and alcohol are not permitted on school property. Fighting, bullying, insubordination, verbal confrontations, profanity will not be tolerated, and we will not tolerate inappropriate bus behavior. Consequences will be given for any violation of these discipline issues. If school authorities have reasonable belief that a student is in possession of materials that threaten the health, welfare, and safety of students in the school, then that student and locker will be searched. Canine searches may be announced or unannounced as well. We expect students to follow the CDSD dress code. This form can be found on the Central Dauphin School District website. These types of tops are prohibited. Clothing with holes, rips cannot reveal undergarments. Lengths of shorts must not be excessively short. No pajamas or slippers, and you must have undergarments completely covered. Bullying and cyber harassment will not be tolerated at Central Dauphin. If we receive a report of bullying or cyber harassment, we will address it. If it continues, we will contact parents and let them know about the situation and give appropriate consequences. If it continues beyond that, we will get law enforcement involved. Safe to Say is a safe place to report any issues that you feel need to be reported, as Mr. Porter mentioned previously. This year, with electronic devices, we're going to use the verbiage off and away. This is a school-wide policy that is in effect, which means your cell phones and any other electronic devices must be off and away at all times, with a couple of exceptions. Number one, in class, students are permitted to use their electronic devices for academic purposes with the teacher's permission. So if they are doing a school activity and they ask you to take out your cell phones or Chromebooks, you may take them out and use them for the activity. Otherwise, they should remain off and away. Students are permitted to use your cell phone or electronic devices before and after school, and you're permitted to use them in the cafeteria during breakfast and lunch. Students are not permitted to use their devices or earbuds in the hallways or bathrooms. And the final message from me to you guys, I just want to tell you a little bit about me and my style. First, when you guys are doing great things, I'm going to pump you up. I'm going to tell you how well you're doing. But when you're messing up, I'm going to tell you that as well. But I'm also going to be real about it. I'm going to expect students to take accountability for their actions. So if they do mess up, you take accountability for it, you learn from it, you deal with any consequences, then we move on. Okay? Those are my expectations, and that's how I want to treat the situations. Okay, we all make mistakes. I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes. The key is to, learn from them and move on. Okay, it's a big accountability piece that we talk about with our Rams Pride. Have a great year. I'm really looking forward to getting this year started and seeing you guys in the hallways, in the cafeteria, or in your Zoom sessions.